Hey everyone, Bro back today with another theory video for Attack on Titan, and today we're going to talk about a very popular theory online on forums and stuff, but one that doesn't really get much attention on YouTube, and that is Marco Bott. Is he alive or is he dead like we all think he is? Now, before I start, I do want to say, like always, that this is not my theory. I just take theories that I find online and kind of think about them, analyze them, and mainly just spread them out to you guys. And so, with that said, let's get into it. Now, to start off, Marco Bott, he's a classmate of Eren and Mikasa and everyone. He ranks 7th in overall in his class, and so he was able to go to military police if he wanted to. And the whole thing around him is that, like as everyone knows, he sort of just died abruptly. His death came out of nowhere, and so we're gonna analyze that today. You know, is he really dead? Is he not? And if he isn't dead, you know, what is he up to? So let's start off by analyzing his death scene. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Marco was never actually confirmed dead. What ended up happening, as you guys all know and you all saw, was that Marco, supposedly his body was laying there after the whole Eren grabbing the giant boulder and blocking off the path for the Titans at Trost. Okay, so after all that happened, apparently Marco's body's there, and Jean, walking by, he notices it, and the lady asks him, "Hey, do you know who this is?" And he's like, "Yeah, this is Marco Bott." Big red flag there because this is the main. This is where everyone started coming up with these theories, that the fact that Marco's death isn't actually confirmed. Uh, it's just Jean just says it's Marco, but he doesn't really actually physically examine him or anything. There's no physical examination. There's nothing like that. So it's just an appearance. And so when looking at this picture, I guess it would be over here. The first piece of information that's important is that there are no freckles. Okay, there's no freckles in this picture or in the other pictures in the manga that depict this scene. And we all know that Marco is known for his freckles. So this is kind of where everyone starts off. It's like, well, you know, if this Marco, where's the freckles? He's supposed to have freckles. Okay. Another important thing about this picture is that there's no weapons around him. There's no swords. Well, swords are the main weapon they use, but no swords anywhere around him. And if he was in fact killed by a Titan, he would have tried to fight back, because that's how Marco is. He's one of the strongest ones. He could actually take out a Titan. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Someone interrupted me, but I'm back. So we're talking about the fact that there are no weapons at the scene. You know, and we assume that if Marco had been up against a Titan, he would have struggled and fought to try to fight back against a Titan, and yet we see no swords or anything around there. So this indicates the contrary. So if we look at the next picture, it's going to be the same scene but from a different perspective. And you see here on the roof, the soldier on the roof actually has a sword clutched in his hands. So yet Marco doesn't have any swords around him or anything. So the guy on the roof definitely tried to fight back, or at least he was caught off guard, but still had his weapon. He was fighting. Yet Marco doesn't have a sword around him. So, or the Marco figure. So it's really weird. So this coupled with the fact that there are no freckles, even in the zoomed in pictures, and you can see there's no freckles, as well as the fact that Jean, out of shock, didn't really take the time to properly make sure it's Marco. Led people to start believing that maybe this isn't Marco, maybe this is someone else. Now, what makes things even weirder is that in this picture, you see Marco on top of the wall. While this whole thing was going on, while the whole retake Trost, you know, seal up the whole thing was going on, and you can see here Marco's on the wall, you know, part of the group that was using cannons to kind of attract the Titans to them. There's no real reason that Marco had to go down there to the city, to the actual city itself, and fight. So that's what really made people speculate. You know, if he's on the wall using, fighting with the cannons, and why is he dead all of a sudden on the floor in the middle of the town, if he had no reason to go down there. Um, so I don't know. Um, this part really makes a lot of sense, and it really kind of starts fortifying the theory and or solidifying the theory, and really making it make sense in my eyes. And so if he is dead, then who can this guy possibly be? And so there's really there's two people that people really think about when they think about who it can be. And the first one is this guy. I don't know his name, but he's part of the garrison, I believe, and he was again um he was up there on the wall at some point. But he's with the garrison though, and you can see he looks just like Marco. No freckles, very important. Same hairstyle, everything. And you can see another picture of here with that same guy with Pixis. So guarantee he's close to Pixis. He actually could be someone that was out fighting the Titans, because if he's close to Pixis, he's probably pretty strong. So again, you can see it here, same kind of hairstyle, no freckles. So the other guy I don't have a picture for, but his name's Samuel. He is part of the same group of Mikasa and Eren, all of them. He's the trainee in their squad. He had very similar look to Marco, but there's no really. I don't know. Those are the two main candidates that people talk about as to who this guy could be if it's not Marco. And now the next part I want to talk about is is Marco the person we think he is? Is he this like kind of charismatic leader who cares about other people and stuff? Does he tell the truth about everything he says? And so these next two images kind of are going to show contradiction. So here, Marco says, as in since I'm the slowest and all, I should draw the attention while the rest strike from behind. So he's saying here that he's the slowest of the group, and that he'll use himself as bait, if they ever come across a Titan or something. And Eren goes on to say, "I see that you are what one might call a natural leader." Okay, and two very important pieces of dialogue right there. Marco saying that he's the slowest out of the group, and Eren saying that he sees him as a leader. Well, if we look at this next picture right here, hey Marco, you've been finding the targets first, but then you leave them behind for someone else. Okay, this is during the training. And we know that Marco wanted to be in the military police, yet he was purposefully, he was actually getting to the targets first and then leaving them there for other people to find. So if he's trying to get into the military police, why is he not getting the points? Hey, give me a second. Okay, like I was saying, if he's trying to get to the military police, why is he not trying to get the maximum number of points, trying to excel among the group? Because this actually says the opposite. It says that it doesn't demonstrate that he's trying to get into the military police. So that's really weird. It's really weird that he'd get there, and on top of that, he says he gets there first. Yet Marco says that he's the slowest of the group. So which one is it? Those are two contradicting statements. And this is what people point out, the foreshadowing that Marco's not really who he says he is. If he isn't who he says he is, then who is he? And so what the fans end up pointing out, they all point to this picture right here, which is the gang. Now, if you guys recognize, it's Marco, and then the other three are what you would call the traitors, the Titan shifters that infiltrated the city, the walls, and Marco is right next to the rest of the three. So people see this image and they see foreshadowing. They see Marco being part of the group, and not only part of the group, but if you remember earlier, Eren saying that he looks like a leader. They see that as foreshadowing that Marco is the leader of these Titan shifters that infiltrated the walls. And of course, you can ask, why isn't Ymir there if she's a Titan shifter? But Ymir isn't part of this group. She is a Titan shifter, but she does things solo. She does things her own way, and she's not really out for any personal goal. She just was a Titan that ate a friend of Bruno and Reynard, and then became Ymir and so on and so forth. But it's not part of this group that infiltrated the walls. So who's Marco Bott? Is he really dead? Is he not? Is he who we think he is? Is he someone else? Um, I mean, this is pretty much it. I hope you guys liked this video. Leave below if you any comments if you guys have any more ideas, any more thoughts. In my opinion, I think this is a strong theory. I think this is a solid theory. Anytime a beloved character dies and then his death is not confirmed 100%, that should send off some red flags. And so this is, again, there are a lot of Marco theories out there. This is one of the ones that I felt was the strongest. I'm gonna leave a link down below. Yeah, until next time, guys. Appreciate all the views and everything. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully more new content, great content along the way, or on the way. And until next time, thanks for watching.